In fact, we want to go back down to Naples, where News Channel 8's Paul Mueller is standing by live in what look like miserable conditions. Paul, how you doing?
Yeah, talk about miserable conditions. You know, this is the first time that I'm actually standing out here and the rain is actually hitting me from a slant. Go ahead and look at this right now. You're seeing the gusts of wind right now. We've had winds around here around 50 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, but we have seen gusts to about 60, 65, possibly even 70 miles an hour. And you can see those trees there. You can see that's the evidence that these the winds are so high right now. And you can actually see one of the trees right there, right across from where we're standing right now, has been blown down. And
okay, you stay with us because it'll come back.
Been blown down.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, stay with us. Can you hear me, Keith?
Yeah, we can hear you.
can.
Just sometimes it breaks up, but we want to stay with you.
This is the technology when you're dealing with a storm, you know. So you see that median right there with the trees that are down. We're seeing this throughout the city right now as these winds, and the winds are one of the two major concerns that we're talking about here in the Naples area right now. They're expecting winds of more than 100 miles an hour. I heard our team of meteorologists talking about this being a Category 3 right now, and again, we're just about, listen to this. Can you hear that, Keith?
Yeah, Jen and I are both listening to you, and that's the scary sound, and it only picks up as the winds increase. Let's listen in some more.
Whoa. Look at that sign in the middle of the street.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like you're protecting yourself behind a concrete barrier. That's wise.
Yeah, we're underneath a building right now just to stay safe. I don't want to get out there and kind of, you know, that's not the point. The point is to make sure that everyone is safe out here, to make sure that we bring you the news, to make sure that we're safe as we do that, as we inform you, you know, as we all know. But again, we've got these, look at this, Dave, this is incredible. This is the highest winds that we've seen. The winds have been the weather has been deteriorating throughout the morning into the early afternoon. And what is it right now here? 3:45. In the last an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from now, we've really seen the weather here get worse.
And the consistency of those winds is going to be a problem with the trees. They're just pushing back, but it's going to be a tough fight.
It is, and you know what, just if you look over here at this Red Lobster Day, that's just one of the reasons why, you know, the folks over there know, you know, to board up with the possibility of these branches or anything else that's not hunkered, not tied down to the ground, that they could be used essentially as some type of missile or target to go right through. But if you look at the building right next door, you see that the windows, no, they're not boarded up. Essentially, they're left to the mercy of Mother Nature. So two concerns here right now, Keith. The fact that we have these incredibly high winds, the highest we've had them throughout the time that we've been here since last night, and also the storm surge. Dave, this is north over here, right? So the Gulf is right here. The Gulf is a couple of miles away from where we're at, and as our meteorologists have been talking about, there's this storm surge that we're talking about 10 to 15 feet of storm surge. What is that going? Sorry?
No, nobody's talking to you.
What is that going to do to this air? Okay. What is that going to do to this area right here? If we're only a couple of miles down from the Gulf of Mexico, and if you have this 10 to 15 foot storm surge that's going to be lasting for quite some time, you know, this area is no doubt, and the areas closest, obviously, to the Gulf are going to flood, and that's one of the issues here. You know, another point too. The good news is this, and Keith and Jen, you notice just the wind and the rain here on the roads, and that's what has been like throughout the day here. Most of the people heeded the warnings. Many mandatory evacuations going into place on Friday, more evacuations going into place on Saturday as well. So people actually were heeding the warnings to go to the shelters. My colleague Jeff Patterson, I believe at last count, there were 30 different shelters. They were full, they were at capacity. So that's the good news. A lot of people are hunkered down in place. We talked to some officials right out here. They can't really give us an idea of how many people actually stayed at home to ride out the storm, if you will. But that's the good news, is that no one really is out. You know, you have those looky-loos, the people that want to come out and experience for themselves.
Well, no more time for looky-loo time here, Paul. We're gonna pull away from you just a minute. Take shelter because we have some breaking news.
That's right. We want to send it up to our storm team in the forecast center.